6 to suspend community rage in Soto. Shut down local civil society organization office. Wolaita FM 96.6, a renowned community radio station based in Soto City, the capital of Wolaita zone in SNNPRS, was ordered to cease broadcasting as of this morning by members of the federal security forces. Journalists working for the station were also prevented to accessing the studio. Mesfin Heliso, manager of the station, told Addis Standard. According to Mesfin, Wolaita FM is a reputable radio station considered as the voice of the Wolaita community and operates abiding by the Ethiopian Broadcast Authority's regulations. We have been ordered to cease broadcasting and evacuate the premises and stay away from the vicinity without getting any further detail on who ordered the closure and why, he said. Wolaita zone was a scene of 6 days sustained protests which started on Sunday, August 9 when members of the federal police and the federal army detained at least 26 people, including Dagado Kumbe, Wolaita Zone Administrator, and Mulana Woldit Sadik, Deputy President of the Wolaita Zone High Court. During a meeting they were attending inside the city's Gyudara Conference Hall. The arrested officials also include members of the Council for Wolaita Statehood Request and opposition party members from Wolaita National Movement and Wolaita People's Democratic Front, representatives of civil society organizations and activists. According to Mesfin, the station, being a nearby voice of the community, has aired an interview with Dagado Kumbe, who assured the community after the detainees including himself were released on bail by Wolaita Zone High Court late yesterday. Fika Dana, a journalist at the radio station, also told Addis Standard that around 7 a.m. this morning, 6 staff of the station including myself were at our post to prepare the daily news that runs at 30 am. Armed member of the military came to our station at the Gyudara Hall compound and gave us a firm order to shut everything and leave the area immediately. He added, we then left and sat in a cafe inside Nega International Hotel for most part of the day while members of the military were monitoring us from the entrance, Fakaju said. He added that they were afraid of being arrested if they left, so they stayed inside while security forces kept monitoring the area. In addition to Mesfin, other staffs who stayed on the scene include Ashenafi Atmazu, program head and management member, Tsagitimo Tuas journalist, Netsenet Adaro, technical head and management member, and Motolomi Timidiwos, marketing and promotion head and management member. They were all prevented from getting into the radio station to work at their posts. Late this afternoon, protesters started gathering near the hotel when the news spread that the journalists and their colleagues were holed up inside the hotel. Subsequently, members of the security left the scene, allowing the journalists and their colleagues to leave for their homes safe. Wolaita FM 96.6 station started streaming on December 11, 2017 with a license registered by the Ethiopian Broadcast Authority. The station is known for its local language contents serving the Wolaita community, who are not a focus of Ethiopia's legacy media establishment. Yeshiwork Jerma, head of media follow-up directorate at the Ethiopian Broadcasting Authority, said that the authority was informed about the situation and were looking at it through the complaint procedure. They are yet to find out the details. According to Yeshiwork, Wolaita FM served as the prime source of information during the protest in the last 6 days when internet data was disconnected. It has reported its news from the areas where protests were happening and about the nature of heavy-handed response from the federal and regional security forces. In a report it released today, Amnesty International says at least 36 people were killed by security forces, including a boy who was homeless and a woman with a mental disability, neither of whom were participating in the protests. No one should be killed for exercising their right to freedom of peaceful assembly or for being around a protest, Amnesty said. The authorities must urgently stop the use of lethal force in the context of protests and thoroughly, effectively, and impartially investigate these killings. All those found responsible must be brought to justice in fair trials. Victims and their families must also have access to adequate reparations. Depros Muchina, Amnesty International's director for East and Southern Africa, said, the establishment of Wolaita FM is largely attributed to the support provided by Wolaita Development Association, WDA, which coordinated the community's support for the establishment of the radio station, which currently has 36 permanent and freelance journalists and support staff members. WDA's office itself has been shut down as of yesterday evening by armed members. The federal security forces, according to Tamarat Madawo's WDA vice chairperson. Tamarat told Addis Standard that the association was known for its engagement in local development works in areas of capacity building, sustainable living condition improvement and integrated public health services since its establishment on June 20, 1957 by prominent Wolaitan native, Djach Wolde Zimaate Gaberwold. In recognition, Djach Wolde Zimaate was bestowed with honorary doctorate degree by Wolaita Soto University in recent past. It is not clear who ordered the members of the Federal Security Forces to close WDA's office and deny its staffs from accessing the premises. Led by Haptamu Timotheos, WDA is also known for establishing Wolaita Lika School, a recognized community model school among the community. Haptamu is an advocate of Wolaita Zone's request for self-determination and regional state status. As such, he was one of the detainees who were arrested on August 9. Addis Standard's repeated attempts to speak to Tessamuyuchala, Wolaita Zone Peace and Security Bureau head, were unsuccessful after he declined to speak to the media on both issues. Source: Addis Standard.